of the Ambridge Area School District is held on Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. This meeting is being held to go over the agenda for the regular monthly board meeting that will be held on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019 at 7 p.m. and to take action on that has come before the board. All meetings have been advertised to permit legislative action as necessary. So this evening we will have a short voting meeting for the purpose of approving a couple of long-term subs and a field trip, and then we will adjourn that meeting and go directly into our meet and discuss. So if everyone would please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being recorded for district purposes. It is or may be published in part or in its entirety on the district's website without the express written permission of meeting participants. The opinions expressed by any member of the public do not necessarily reflect the view or opinion of the Ambridge Area School District Board of School Directors or the Ambridge Area School District and are solely that of the speaker. The Ambridge Area School District Board of School Directors hereby expressly disclaims any and all responsibility or liability for any false, defamatory, or slanderous statements expressed by the speaker. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fisher?
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Here.
Mr. Cowell?
Here.
Mrs. Locker?
Here.
Mrs. Mylan?
Here.
Ms. Pettigo?
Here.
Mr. Sass?
Here.
Mr. Weir?
Here.
Mr. Angus?
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Could I have the sunshine law, please?
Section 708 of the Sunshine Law permits agencies to hold executive sessions to discuss employment and personnel matters, labor relations and arbitration matters, purchase or lease of real estate up to the time an option or agreement is obtained, litigation or potential litigation, legal matters subject to attorney-client privilege and other agency business, which if discussed in public would violate lawful privilege or would violate confidentiality laws. The Board of School Directors held an executive session on Wednesday, November 13th to discuss employment and personnel matters, salary schedule and labor relations, matters subject to attorney-client privilege, and litigation matters.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the voting agenda only for the 4 items that are presented tonight for vote?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Weir. Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any discussion on the 4 amendments or agenda items for this evening? Any presentation this evening?
None this evening.
Okay. Public comment. At this time, district residents may come forward to comment on the agenda items only. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each resident will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once. The period for public comment for the standing committee reports will be limited to 1/2 hour. Although not required, board members desiring to address questions or concerns may do so at the resident's comment or question or at the conclusion of the committee reports. There will still be an opportunity for residents to comment on any business relevant to the school district under old or new business at the end of this meeting. So at this time, the floor is open for anything on the voting items this evening. Seeing no one, since Mrs. Pettigo is on by phone, Mr. Weir, will you please take education and technology?
I'd be happy to. JROTC field trip. It is recommended to approve Master Sergeant Thomas G. Short III, Marine Corps JROTC instructor, be authorized to take the JROTC unit to East Community Learning Center in Akron, Ohio for an annual Derek Wyatt Memorial Drill meet from November 15th through November 16th, 2019. The purpose of this trip is to build teamwork, enhance the camaraderie among the cadets, to develop leadership skills, and to increase unit cohesion. The aforementioned training is educational and is in compliance with the required curriculum. The JROTC unit will incur the expense related to the trip. All expenses will be obtained through fundraising. Parents or guardians will be required to sign permission and release forms.
Thank you, Mr. Weir. For item number 1 under education and technology, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Meyer. Second, Mr. Weir. Thank you. Any discussion on item number 1? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Ms. Pettigo?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mr. Weir?
Yes.
Mr. Angus?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Under personnel for the three items, Mrs. Walker, please.
Thank you. I move for the adoption of items 1 through 3, please.
I have a motion on the floor for items 1 through 3. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Weir. Is there any discussion on items 1 through 3? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Koho?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Ms. Pettigo?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mr. Weir?
Yes.
Mr. Angus?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Anything from the superintendent?
Nothing this evening?
Solicitor?
I just want to report that the Anthony Wayne Elementary School order of court relating to the sale and authorization for the option agreement were both approved by the court several weeks ago, and that was communicated to the interested party. So that's moving forward. Thank you.
Under old and new business, it is now time for old and new business. Any district resident who desires to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge Area School District should now come forward. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once. So the floor is now open.
Hi, my name is Jody Gill. I live at 909 11th Street in Ambridge. Last week I was elected to serve on this board, and I am proud to say that I'm happy to do so. What I would like to ask tonight, though, is come to my attention that board members were asked to sign non-disclosure agreements, which I believe to be illegal and unconstitutional, before assuming their duties, saying that they would not be allowed to participate in certain activities if they did not sign those non-disclosure agreements. So I would like to ask my fellow board members, if you were in fact asked to sign non-disclosure agreements, who asked you to do so, and if you did? Thank you.
Anyone care to comment?
So I did sign an agreement early on when I was elected as a board member. That's really all I have to say. I did sign.
It's up to you.
Anyone else?
I signed an agreement.
So you were also presented with an agreement?
Yes.
Do you remember who presented you? I'm just curious as somebody getting ready to serve on the board, because I've been elected by the citizens of the Ambridge Area School District, and I want to serve them to the best of my ability. And
To be honest with you, it was put on the table and I was told to sign it.
thank you for your candor.
So, so there has been some discussion, and I also signed something that I believe, something is here now that I signed. And I did not personally keep a copy of it, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it. So this is a safety agreement. I acknowledge I have received and read and understood policy 907, and it's dated by me. You can look at this if you want. It's dated by me 1/16/19. So I asked, we pursued it, and this is what I did sign. Unfortunately, I did not keep a copy of it, nor did I take a picture of it. So, just
If it was
being transparent.
available, wouldn't it be a right to know request if it existed?
If such a document existed, and I can certainly say as a solicitor that we're certainly not aware of having it ever prepared or advised new board members or the administration that such a document would be permissible or recommended in any way. If such a thing existed, then it would be a public record.
Okay, so I can do a right to know request?
Absolutely.
For any document signed by the board? Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So for the record, for my folks who did elect me, I'm not going to sign a non-disclosure agreement that's going to violate my constitutional rights and my ability to communicate with my citizens and with the folks who put me into office. As an elected official, I have a duty to keep the district informed, and I'm going to do that. So just for the record, I plan on doing that, and I will not sign such an agreement.
Anyone else have anything this evening?
Megan Trimber, 3225 Richard Extension, Kearney Borough. Myself, I was also just newly elected to the school board, and I want to say I'm looking forward to working with everyone. as an elected official going to be starting this board. I did not run to get into the drama of the district. I'm running because I want to do what's in the best interest of the students of this district and what is in the best interest of the residents of this district. I'm not here, like I said, for the foolishness or drama. I'm a fan of the students and the residents of this district, and I've always said there's a lot of heart and soul here. We all need to start working together as a team and start focusing on what's in the best interest of the students. There are many items that we all need to discuss and what's going on in our districts, in our schools. I ran on the basis, and I told everybody this, I want to bring this district back to being one of the top and best school districts. That is my goal. And I will say, I will not sign a non-disclosure either. I will have an attorney, if I'm presented with anything, I will have an attorney review it before I sign anything. I want to speak to the public. Many of you know I sent emails in regards to questions, concerns that I had going on in this district. I didn't get a response back. And I was told it's because you guys are not allowed to respond back in email. I'm not out to sue the district. I'm out to improve things and make things better for this district. There were things that were solvable that could have been just someone working with someone and fixing it, and it could have been taken care of. What makes us look bad as a district is that we have a board administration who clearly does not know how to work with the parents and the residents of this district. We all need to change our focus and start working on what's best for these kids. I haven't spoken to anyone, and I want everyone to know I am here because I want to do what's best. I care about this district.
I responded to you a couple of times, and we talked on the phone.
You did, in regards to football. Yes, you did, and that was one of my things. Some of the issues I had in that email in regards to football, they were fixable. These were things that could have been discussed. I'm sorry, I will have an issue. I'm not gonna sit up there and be quiet, and anybody who knows me knows I come to these meetings, I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm not afraid to ask questions. And if it means me taking the time and listening to someone and talking with them, then if I can fix it or do something to try to help, then I'm going to try to do that. I'm not a quiet person. I'm a people person. I like working with people, and that's why I ran for school board. I have children in this district. I want the best for them. I want the best for every student in this district. In regards to academics and in regards to sports, I want to bring these programs back. I want to make sure that we're doing the right, proper training. They have the right equipment. We have coaches who know what they're doing, who care and want to be here, you know, that aren't everywhere.
Megan, you and I have spoken previously, and I think what's important to say at this point is all of us want that. We might not all want it in the same direction, but I've worked with a lot of people now, and I believe that we all want that. And it takes 5 votes. So recognizing that
I will
as
say,
you move forward.
I've talked to
Mrs.
you
Fisher
too.
have reached out to me, Mrs. Kehoe has reached out to me, Dr. Welter has reached out to me in regard, Dr. Welter reached out to me in regards to the football because I emailed her. You have reached out to me in regards to the concerns at the middle school. There's concerns, there's issues here, and we need to, you're not gonna be able to fix everything overnight. It's gonna take a little bit by little bit, and I'm not coming in here acting like I know everything, because I clearly don't. I don't, but I am a people person, and I wanna listen, and I wanna fix things. And I really think that we need to start working together instead of the drama and the issues. It's ridiculous, I'm sorry. But if there are things going on illegally here, I'm not okay with that, and I will let you know that.
Thank you.
I agree too.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments? All right, if not, then I will ask for a motion to adjourn the voting meeting and then to reconvene into the regular meeting discussion.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Weir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cobalt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourning the voting meeting.